Welcome back, everybody, to another Warp World episode of World 1-1 Podcast. This is the first of 4 of the E3 Warp World episodes that we're bringing you this year. We're going to be starting off with Microsoft. We're also, later, we're going to be hitting Sony, and then tomorrow, Nintendo. And also, we're going to do one big lump Warp World episode for all the third-party showings as well. But right here, right now, we're talking Microsoft. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me, as always, is Eddie Blacker than Night V.
Wait, what? Hi, everybody.
Just a quick look back. Microsoft is coming off of not a particularly great last year or two in terms of showings at E3, which kind of puts them in a spot where they really had to step up and bring their A game this year, or risk even bigger catastrophe than they're already dealing. Excuse me. Yeah, than they're already dealing with. The last year or so has felt really soft for Xbox, and we were all kind of hoping that this year we would get a big boom, and I will say, for me personally, it felt like they delivered. I don't. There's a couple things they probably could have done to really hit it above and beyond, but I do think they did what they had to do to get shit back on track. So I'm kind of curious to hear some of your just overall thoughts and feedback first here, Eddie. So hit it.
Microsoft did a fantastic job. They blew everybody. First, congratulations to them for not doing no Forza Horizon car reveal. They didn't bring that.
Oh, thank God.
That's good. It was cool that when they were showing the players on the team ready to play the game and stuff, that one of them had the accessibility controller. I thought that was really cool that they had that in front. I was just like, I hopefully they show. I think they was going to show more of it, or I wanted to see more. And I don't know if there was those was like white Xbox One X's, because one of my predictions were that they were doing a white Xbox One X, for a reveal.
Honestly, I'm really glad they weren't talking like, hardware announcement shit. Like and I'm with you. Normally, when they bring out like peripheral stuff at an E3 show, I don't care. I'm a little puzzled. I would have actually, this is the one time I would have liked to see a little more on peripheral hardware with that accessibility controller, because I mean they made a point to show that it was there and that somebody was using it, I think, but I would have actually been really curious to see a little more of it in use. To see them talk that just a little, maybe give it like 2-3 minutes max.
I mean, I would have gave it at least, maybe actually shown a level of Forza Horizons 4, with one person using that controller, the regular controller, and then one of them using the accessibility controller, just to show that everybody can play now. There's no more inclusion, so people could get an idea, because the pre-orders actually just went up today for it. So.
Yeah, it's a little puzzling they didn't talk that one at all, and I almost wonder if they shied away from it just because of some of the response from the last few times that they did hardware stuff. But I think the problem is that they knew that doing hardware stuff gets them a bad response, but I don't think they understood why.
I think actually for this one, they would have got more praise, because when they did the original reveal for it, people across the industry, gamers, was just giving Microsoft big props for this controller. They were just like, thank you for this. They were just like, that's so cool how much you guys care about people who are disabled, who can't play games, but still have that love and passion for it. I thought that was like fantastic, and it would, not saying that it didn't sell people on it, because the people I think are sold in it. Just seeing the use in person would have been great. I think would have been greater for people. But hopefully, maybe they'll have it on the floor, and people who are disabled, who's come to the show floor, are getting their hands on it, and we'll probably report on it on how good it feels.
Yeah, I really think that, like I said, Microsoft shied away just because they don't know why they get a bad response, and really the problem is that when they do shit like that, they tend to go on way longer than they should.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you should have talked about it. It's not the fact that you talk about hardware and peripherals, it's the fact that you drag it out way too fucking long.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, bring that thing out, talk it for like 2-3 minutes, and move on. That's it. I just want a quick overview, give me the nuts and bolts, let me see it work, and move on. But that aside, I think that's one of the two big things that they missed out on. Um, there's a third that's probably a little more personal to me. But that aside, everything else they did, I think they did very well. Um, I they definitely showed a good heap of hardware. Um, on a personal note, because I've talked about it endlessly on the show, is I was really excited to see, even if it was only for like 3 seconds, to see Dead Cells up on the big screen. Um, so that made me happy. But they let's kind of run it through, get the highlights here. But they opened strong with in
Halo
I
Infinite.
can't I can't even call it a proper trailer because for the most part it really looked like a just a demo of the new engine that they're running
Well,
for it.
yeah,
But
that's what they were. That's what they were going for. To show the
yeah,
engine, and it looks beautiful.
yeah, it looks pretty. You know, if they can deliver on that, then hurrah. But to see Master Chief make a proper return is a good way to go. I'm really hoping they bring it back from the mess that was Halo 5. Um, like somebody at 343 has to have learned from the mistakes that were made with that. There's no way that they didn't. Then I say that, but this is the games industry we're talking about. We love seeing people make the same mistakes over and over, um, and paying them for it. But that being said, it's a strong way. It's a great way to open. It was a solid open, and it definitely set the tone in the right way for the rest of their show.
Yeah, it was. At first, at one point, it looked like Star Wars for a second because of the ship that they was in, and I was just like, that looked like the Star Wars ship. Uh, for like
Honestly, my first thought was that we were gonna get to see Ori first because it was all the nature shit.
Ori
Like,
with when I
there's
seen, it, I was
no
just
way
like,
that
oh,
this is
this is.
Ori.
I'm like, Ori's not that detailed, not that real
Right.
detail.
Don't get me wrong. I love the art style that Ori carries, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I would have just as easily looked at that and gone, "Really? I'm in."
Yeah,
So, but yeah, no. What they did show looked super pretty, and if they can, keep it looking like that when it actually releases, then I think we're in for at least a visual spectacular. And you really can't speak any more to it than that, just because that was about all they showed.
so yeah, so
So, um,
and everybody
next,
is running on the Slip Space engine. That's what it is,
Slipstream.
huh?
Was it Slipstream or Slipspace?
Slip Space.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so it's nice to see 343 hopefully back on the horse again. Um, next in the show, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could just be jumping the gun because of my own personal excitement, but if I'm not mistaken, Ori was the second to bat, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ori
Okay.
Will of the Wisp.
I was going to say, was I skipping something and not remember? But yeah.
No.
So Ori was second at bat, and oh my god, so I cried. It hit me in the feels. I love my Ori, and to not just see the pretty happy cinema stuff that Ori does so well in terms of the way it delivers its storytelling, but then to also finally get to see some gameplay, to know what Milton and the rest of the crew at Moon Studios have been working hard at, and it looks so good. Oh my God, Sign is a sword. That was awesome.
Well, to me, Ori Will of the Wisp now it looks like it's Donkey Kong Country, like their version of it. Oh
No.
yes, when that got into
There's
that,
no
when they
way it
did that
goes
little,
straight platformer
when
with
they did,
Milton at the wheel.
I'm not saying it's a platform game. I'm saying when they did the minecart thing and when they were doing some other stuff, I was just like, y'all study Donkey Kong Country, and I'm here for it. I'm not mad. Trust me. Not mad at all at the game. I hopefully that story is the main attack because the electric stuff, I have my problems with the regular Ori, but this game looks like a vast improvement from it. And hopefully they don't color bleed with some of the things to hinder your progress. But it looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's a must have for me. Of course, I'm going to get it and everything. Cause I'm intrigued by the story. The world looks fantastic. The art is more expressive and clean in this game. So I really can't wait to get my hands on it. It's just that once I seen some parts of it, I was just like, this is their version of Donkey Kong, or inspired by Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze or something like that, and I'm here for it, while still keeping it in that Metroidvania style of gameplay.
Now, see, I get the feeling that what you're talking about there, that minecart looking thing, is just going to be a mobility thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is in any Metroidvania really is a means to an end to opening up new sections of the map, and so it to me it didn't scream Donkey Kong Country because of that, because that's where my brain is putting it.
It was screaming it to me. So I know we have different views and opinions, and that's fine. But I think we're both excited for this game.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Like it's the sequel was always going to be a must have for me. So I'm glad what they showed was like precise, was tight, and hopefully we see more. Sadly, the bad thing about it is that it's next year, and that might be one of the problems for this whole conference.
I will say I'm not upset that it's next year. I would have just liked to seen it nailed down to a more specific date.
Yeah.
Other than just 2019.
Yeah. So, the next one was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. This is a game from Software and being published by Activision. It's a samurai action adventure game. I'm not getting hints of the Souls game, but maybe because of the one-on-one combat, people might get that and think of it because it's from Software. But at first, it looks like Onimusha. Like it literally could have been an Onimusha game from the way that it looked. But
I saw limbs getting lopped off, and I got excited that we were going to get a new Blood Will Tell. I'm like, I want that.
That's the comic one from Sega.
No, Blood Will Tell wasn't a comic one. It was a PS2 title where you played this. We'll talk about it on.
He's
Show
the one that don't have
no
arms and stuff. And so
like all his limbs and shit have been replaced with cybernetic stuff.
It's based off a Japanese manga.
Yeah, that game was badass.
Yeah,
I want a new one of those.
Yeah, so
I need to find another copy of that. Actually, I missed that.
It was good.
Anyways, but Shadows Die Twice looks sharp. I don't know. To me, I could easily see this being a Soulsborne style game. It's got the enemy size to really swing it into that genre.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my gut tells me, between that and the fact it's from Software. So, which I find it fascinating that like a single publisher basically owns a whole fucking genre at this point.
I mean, there's been other developers who have made that game, but
yeah, but you hear Soulsborne and you go From Software.
But you got to think where From Software has been at, like wherever. What was their mech games?
Oh yeah. I'm blanking now.
So yeah, that transition, and plus, From Software made other games, but they became known now for these like hard, difficult games like the Souls games. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it as the Souls genre. I still call it like maybe uh uh adventure RPG.
So you can call it whatever you want, but at this point, it's pretty well been pegged as the Soulsborne genre.
I don't know why. I'm just like, there's been other games that's been hard like this. It's just that it added an RPG mechanic, and y'all just took notice. But that's me. So, I'm going to say Fallout 76 and Captain Spirit for Bethesda and Square Enix. So when we talk about the third party, but Fallout
I'm okay
4
with
is
that. It is worth mentioning that they did get their first show on the Microsoft stage though, which
trailer wise, but not
Yeah.
gameplay wise.
yeah,
In the same trailer that they showed at Microsoft, they showed at Bethesda. So that's why I was going to save it.
same thing with Captain Spirit. Yeah,
Yeah. Fallout 4 is on Game Pass, and if anyone who wants to pre-order Fallout 76, it'll start June 15. Captain Spirit is a free download to the 26th of June. So moving on from there, Crackdown 3, that will be in February 2019, and the graphics looks like they overhauled it, and it looks so much better in this state. Like, to me, it's a must-have now.
it did look good.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be comedy, but they added a lot of more gameplay, and it looks like they probably changed up some story elements. But because it's looking more detailed, like it still has that comic feel to it, but the style of like the characters look more detailed, and so everything fits and works for this game.
Yeah. Plus, if you can't get enough of Terry Crews shouting at you in your life, then this is clearly going to be the game for you, because that's all he did the whole fucking trailer was Terry Crews shouting at you.
I mean, it was good, so.
Oh, it was fun. Don't get me. I'm just like, that's like super abrasive, but okay.
Right.
I will say I feel like it properly captures the spirit of Crackdown.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not somebody that's versed in Crackdown, it's one of those things that you kind of feel like the guy in the Maxwell logo braced in your chair, like ah. So, but no, it looks sharp. I like the look. It has almost a Tron feel to it. Lots of the blue neon and
Yeah.
God, especially in the look of the vehicles, man. It really gets that Tron look.
Yeah. I could
But-
change my car to a
I can
to
change
a
my
tank.
rod into a tank. Rah! Climb up a wall.
Yeah. So, Nier Automata and Kingdom Hearts 3, we're going to say that for Square Enix. Nier Automata is going to be digital only on Xbox, and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Here, I think is worth talking about here,
Hmm?
and I think both of them are worth talking about here. Namely, the fact that Nier is a good get for Xbox. It's nice to see them that it's been long enough that they go, we're putting it out, and we're not going to like charge you extra for all the DLC at this point, because you can pick up Nier Automata on PS4 for a fairly decent price. So my guess is we see it at a full price release,
Well, it's
but
only
that
it's
accounts
digital
for the
only,
fact that you're getting
so there's no physical copies for it. So,
right. But I suspect we're going to see it at a full price release.
nope, $50.
But yeah, that's still not bad. So all DLC included, I can justify that.
But they just didn't. It's just like Nier and Kingdom Hearts 3. What they showed at Microsoft, they showed at Square Enix. So
Right, but the fact that they're coming to Xbox, I think, is what justifies talking about them here on the Microsoft show. That being said, especially the fact that Kingdom Hearts is coming to Xbox One, I will say
that was already planned.
yeah, it's still a big get for them.
Mm.
That's kind of a nice solid fuck you to Sony, losing that exclusivity on Kingdom Hearts 3, and putting it on Microsoft stage first is just that extra little rub your nose in it. But oh god, though, two big things to hit on there though is that one, Jesus God, the audio editing and the sound editing in that Kingdom Hearts trailer was not good. Like, seriously, this is a monster title, like 10 plus years in the works. Get your shit together.
Yeah, it was like some stuff was like a lot of sound effects and stuff was missing, because if you go watch the Square Enix trailer, you can hear everything.
Even the Square one still had some problems, but all the same, seriously, if you're finally showing KH3, this is a monster. How do you not get your shit together for this? But that being said, the other big thing to hit on here was that I'm really vexed that they didn't say we're bringing like 1.5, 2.5 final mix to Xbox One as well.
We're thinking that that's going to probably come later.
You would think that they'd want to do what's being rumored, at least, and we'll find out more tomorrow, that Nintendo's doing with the Prime stuff, and put the first games out like now and let everybody play through it and get pumped and ready for the new one.
Well, you still got to think there's Gamescom and there's Tokyo Game Show, so there's still more to come.
There is, but it feels like this would have been the right place to do it, and it feels like a big missed opportunity to not have done it.
I think them just getting this just getting the first showing. I think Microsoft was more focused on that than getting the other game. So,
yeah.
Metro Exodus is coming out February 22nd, 2019. They just showed the trailer, some of the new environments, a little bit of gameplay, and you being on the train. I don't have much else to say about this. Watch the trailer if you want to.
I wasn't super excited about Metro Exodus when I saw it last year at the show, and this year they're showing for Metro Exodus has me considerably more interested than I was last year. I think this is a more flavored, put together showing than they had at last year's show. Last year, what they showed felt very generic to me. This year, it feels like it's got its own personality, at least a little bit, finally.
Sea of Thieves is getting 2 DLC, Cursed Sails and Forsaken Shores. Cursed Sails will be out in July. Forsaken Shores will be in September. They didn't show no actual gameplay or environments of the trailer. They just kind of like talked about the story and a little bit of comedic for that.
I liked the comedy in there. I'm still not sold on Sea of Thieves yet. It's just nothing in there grabs me yet.
That's fine. Battlefield 5. They showed a trailer. I thought it was going to be something different from EA's conference. So, if you want to,
I was a little surprised at that. There seems to be a lot of trailer recycling this year.
Yeah.
I really hope that trend stops fast.
They announced Forza Horizon 4. This one now, the whole community is in the game, and you'll be racing against other players around the world. They're focusing on seasons like spring, summer, snow. Spring, summer, winter, and fall.
Snow is a season.
So if you're in the summertime and you're by a lake, you'll see water and maybe fish jump out. But if it turns into winter, that same lake could be frozen and you guys could drive on it and stuff. So this game will be out October 2nd with Game Pass. So if you guys are, and also the Play Anywhere initiative. So if you buy it digitally on Xbox One, you can play it on Windows 10 and vice versa. This game looks really good. I'm definitely picking this one up.
I know the wife is excited for this. She likes the Forza Horizon series. Not gonna lie, it just dawned on me. Let's take the seasons feature from Forza Horizon 4. Stuff that in Sea of Thieves. That might interest me. Like, I want, like, totally fucking icy, choppy ass frozen seas that you gotta try and figure out how to work your way through.
That would be super difficult.
Yeah, I know, and it would be interesting at least.
I think people would probably stop playing the game. They'd be like, we can't do nothing until the season is over with. So, um, then they took time out to announce that they acquired 5 new developers. The initiative is what they didn't acquire them, but they designed them and placed them in Santa Monica. It's going to be kind of their like a place that they do a lot of story-driven games at this time. So probably like their version of doing like Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War, like some of those big games. Some indie developers or second party developers that they kind of acquired. Undead Labs, they were the ones who released State of Decay and State of Decay 2. Playground Games, they're the ones that's in charge of the Forza Horizon series. Compulsion Games, who are making We Happy Few, which also comes out August 10th. But the real big one that took everybody away, that just blew the whole industry and like pretty much for some people won E3 or are just happy to see that this happen. They acquired Ninja Theory. So Ninja Theory is now a part of the Microsoft brand. And there is a video out that Ninja Theory put out. You guys can check probably on their YouTube page on why they joined Microsoft. So
I will say that most of those are fairly good gets for Microsoft. Ninja Theory obviously is a big one there, but I would venture to I'll put my foot out there or stick my neck out there and say that Compulsion's a big get too, because We Happy Few is being made by what was basically the remnants of the BioShock team, and God, I was so happy to finally see more on We Happy Few. Like, I've been sitting on the preview for We Happy Few for like a year and a half on my Xbox, and just wanting more of it finally, and to see it starting to fill out and know that it's not far away at long last made me really happy.
yeah. So I'm probably gonna wait for that game. Probably gonna wait for reviews because it looks, it looked like they went dark to work more on the game. And I think there's been delays for it, but I don't know if they actually had an official release date before August 10th. I think they haven't. I think they kind of actually went away, went dark, and like I kind of forgot all about it. So, next after that, they showed PUBG. Showed off 3 new maps. Erangel, well, not 3 new maps, but 3 new things that's coming for it. Erangel, Miramar, and Sandhook is coming in the summer of 2018. So it might come in July or August or sometime in September. We don't know yet.
Probably August.
They introduced new vehicles like Jeeps, motorcycles, and dune buggies. They're including war mode and a new item, which is a shield. And then they ended it off with a snow area that might be in the game. Then that'll be in winter of 2018. So that's PUBG. I have no words for it.
I get why they did it, but it still feels like a waste of time to blast PUBG on your stage at this point.
Yeah. So
seriously, Fortnite killed it. Move on.
They showed a little bit of Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. This was the original 360 game, but now it's coming to Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Switch. You guys can pre-order it, and it will be out in winter 2018. So, it's a Tales game.
It's a fairly well-respected Tales game out of the series too.
This is one that I never played because I haven't played it on. I didn't have a 360, but for me, I'll play it on Switch over Xbox One.
Understandable. It just, don't get me wrong. I'm always happy to see Microsoft try and hit that JRPG but they never it never ends up really moving hardware for them. But that being said, Switch does feel like a better place for it. But
Hmm.
props to them for at least not just giving up on it.
Yes. Yes. So
I think that fact goes a long ways.
so after that, they did the Division 2. That will be out March 15, 2009. It's going to be taking place in Washington, D.C. It's powered by Snowdrop, and they did get some gameplay. I don't know if that's going to be the final in-game visual, because if you look at other demos from like the Division or even Ghost Recon Wildlands, and then you look at the actual game, they have two different styles. So there might be more at Ubisoft's conference, but so when we record the that third party one, we'll have more details on it. I mean, it looks fun, it looks
Yeah.
good, it looks like they improved a lot of things. So I'm into it. I was gonna pick it up anyway because I beat the first division, and I think that the regular one division is available on Game Pass
It's on Game
also.
Pass. I was literally not 30 seconds ago looking at it. So
Uh, any thoughts on that, or should I move on to the
um
next one?
I think it looks less bland than the first division.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a step in the right direction.
Yes. Uh, they stopped a little bit to announce some things for Game Pass. They got to have like a fast start, and that's going to be in the June update. Uh, I think the Xbox One is just getting a June update. I'm assuming that's going to affect the whole system, like dashboard and everything. That's what I assume. I have to watch it again because they also mentioned cloud too. Um,
Yeah. They said that one of the biggest things that they're talking about for Game Pass is is their new feature to get you playing your games faster as they're downloading, which, hey, I'm all for get me my shit now. Um, I don't know if it's worth talking about on E3 stage, but hey, cool. I really think it's one of those things they should have just done in the background. But no, they definitely have a couple of good gets coming for Game Pass. Fallout and Elder Scrolls Online were definitely good calls.
hmm.
So
Well, yeah. After that, they did ID at Xbox. So the games that they like in a sizzle reel that they quickly showed was Outwilds, After Party, Kingdom, Two Crowns, The Golf Club 2019, Warhammer Vermintide, French Wars, Below, Conqueror's Blade, Waking, Raji, Super Meat Boy Forever, Planet Alpha, Islands of Nine, Battle Royale, Sable, Hero Halibut, handmade adventure game, Bomber Crew, Children of Morta, The Windroll, War Groove, Generation Zero, Dead Cells, and then they ended it with Ashen. Um, uh,
yeah,
Dead Cells, Dead Cells was a big one for it.
there was actually a handful of stuff in there that really looked interesting to me that I saw. I'm like, that looks fucking neat. I want to play that.
Yeah. Uh, I'm surprised that they just like you that they held off that um they held off Dead Cells for this interview for this while Nintendo and Sony got the announcement early. So
Yeah. But in any case, well, and it was already announced that it was coming to all platforms
oh okay.
several months ago. But in any case, roll it down the line here because we've got to wrap this in about 10 minutes or so here, so we can get into the next conference stuff going on.
Well, Sessions is going to be skateboard for them. Shadow of Tomb Raider, we'll talk about Square. Black Desert, you guys could.
Sessions was nice to see skateboarding coming back into video gaming because holy shit, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, that's EA's loss of not doing Skate 4. So,
No kidding.
Black Desert, they showed more details about that. Devil May Cry 5 got announced on their stage. I have concerns, but we'll talk about that another day.
There's some concerns going around for that, but it's good to see that the series is not dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal right there, and Yeah, that's Black Desert looks interesting. Like, no lie, I was not sure what it was coming into that, and like watching that trailer build up, I'm like, is this new Fable? Because this looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. Cuphead 2000, the DLC,
Cuphead DLC, yep.
Delish Last Course. They have a new character, Miss Challenge. That's 2019. Tunic, a RPG featuring a fox. Christy probably gonna love that.
That's I'm just like, how did you get away with this? This is Link to the Past.
Pretty much. Jump Force, Bandai Namco. They're
Jump
showing
Force
the jump
looked
characters.
hot, man.
Huh?
That shit looked hot. Like, I'm digging the visual style on that big time.
Yeah. They announced Dying Light 2, Battletoads 2019.
I screamed like a little girl. I was so happy.
Just Cause 4, we'll talk about that in Square. Then they had a section for Gears, the Gears of War section. Gears Pop is going to be one of their mobile games. Gears Tactics is like strategy, story-based
Turn-based
game.
RPG, yeah.
And then they showed off Gears 5. Your main character now is Kate. That'll be in 2019. And then they ended the show with a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm not...
Cyberpunk looks hot.
It doesn't look hot to me. It looks colorful.
I like it. I like it.
Until I literally see some gameplay. It's good that it's going to be on Xbox One. It'll run probably similar on Xbox One X, but they about to promote that more on PC than anything else. And then until I see some actual gameplay, it's nothing but Snatcher at the moment.
I don't know. I'm hyped for some Cyberpunk. The Gears Pop thing had me. I'm like, you better not stop with the Gears stuff there, because there will be a fucking riot if you stop at Gears Pop.
But you know what? I thought that Gears wasn't going to be there because the coalition said they have been working on something new, like a new IP. So that new IP might be for next year then.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's the show.
That was Microsoft in a wrap. They packed together a solid show. They only had maybe 15, 20 minutes of fluff in there, which I think they probably could have fine-tuned, but it was within tolerable limits. So, but all in all, they put together a well-packed show for the first time in a couple of years, and I think this is the sign of the turnaround that they really need. And God damn, Microsoft just got a packed-ass February. Jesus.
Everybody got a packed February 2019.
February is canceled. Go home. So, yeah, but yeah, that's Microsoft show in a nutshell. You'll definitely we'll be talking more in depth about a lot of the big highlights when we record a full show coming up here next week. Or end of this week. And other than that, yeah, that's Microsoft show. That's a wrap. We'll be back next with another Warp World episode covering Sony, and then we're also going to hit one for Nintendo, and then we're going to do one big lump show for all the third-party showings. So, in the meantime, we'll see you as soon as we're back. Peace.
All right. Talk to you later, everybody.